Hello, I'm Joe from Carême cooking classes, and today we're making the lentil and kumara curry. Our first step is going to be to roast and grind the spices because I think that makes a better curry, and then we're going to make up the curry. So I'll readjust the camera angle and back in half a tick. There we go. You didn't need to see my head, did you? Right, our first thing, as I said, is to roast the spices. We're going to roast the spices in our pot. Normally I use a small pan. I've got a special little pan at work, but I forgot to bring it home, so we're using the pot. I'm going to cook the curry in the pot, so it's saving one dish. We want 2 tablespoons of coriander seeds. The coriander seeds are the round seeds, and 1 tablespoon of cumin seeds. And I'm cooking on induction, so it's pretty fast. Shouldn't take too long. I'm measuring them in this, which is obviously not a tablespoon, but I measured the capacity of this and it's 15 mils. You want to toast spices until they're 1 shade darker in colour and they smell delicious. So it's very hard to judge 1 shade darker in colour. Face facts. But smelling delicious is pretty easy to judge. They're smelling already. They really don't take long. And you can do the cumin and coriander together because they take about the same amount of time to roast. I've done this before. And also they can grind together. They're not hard, but they're not soft. They grind well together. When we've done these, we're also going to do the fenugreek and pepper, but they're both quite hard, so I normally do these 2 together and then the fenugreek and pepper together. Okay, they're starting to smell. They're smelling good. You can't see a lot, but they are starting to, oh yeah. So they're smelling good. I'll take them off and let them cool down a bit while I get the fenugreek and pepper. Now I want 1 teaspoon of each of these. That's quite a big teaspoon, so I'll put in not too big a spoon. And also the pepper. You wouldn't think it would make a lot of difference to toast the pepper, but it's better, honestly. And again, off we go. Fenugreek really does change colour when it's toasted. So I would actually say more than 1 shade darker on the fenugreek. And toasting pepper will make you cough. It's one of those things. Just turn it down, it's quite high. Yeah, won't take a lot. The pot was already hot, so that won't take much. These will be cooling down. Yep. That is, yep. I don't know if you can see them, but the fenugreek is a bit darker. Fenugreek is optional, but it does make the curry better. The coriander and cumin are essential. Fun fact, pepper is what used to make curries hot in India until about the 16th century when chilies came from the New World. You think that chilies were always in India, but they weren't. Okay, the pepper and fenugreek also cooling down, and we're going to reuse that pot for our curry. So I'll cut up an onion. I left the steel for the knives at work, so I'm not using my work knives because they're not actually particularly sharp. But this knife's lovely, actually. Huh. I've got at home I've got Japanese knives. I know normally I prefer German, but these ones are gorgeous. Just while the spices are cooling down, we'll chop up onion and garlic if we have time. This is not the most authentic of Italian curries, Indian curries. It's one I made up, but it's jolly nice. These are still a bit warm, so we'll do the garlic. Where's my garlic? Here we go. Peeled and chopped, and chop chop. There we go. Has to be garlic. I always say garlic has to be pretty finely chopped. You can, of course, crush it, but I like chopping. Chopping's fun. Now the spices should be cooled off. We can put them in our spice mill. I have got the spice mill, but you can use a mortar and pestle, of course. We want to get our spices done before we start cooking. Here it is. Can you see it? Move it in here. So this is the cumin and coriander. It's really fast. Spice mill is something which is worth having. I mean, it is like a coffee grinder if it is not a coffee grinder. But I only use it for spices. You can't use it for both, really. No, the pepper always takes longer. It's harder to do. Excuse me, pepper, as I say, makes you cough. It's like kitchen humour is to put the stove on and throw pepper on it, makes everyone cough. Ha ha ha. Kitchen humour is different. Okay, we're starting cooking. Heat the pan, 2 tablespoons of oil. Don't use olive oil. Indian cooking doesn't use olive oil. Yeah, hot already. And put the onions in. Stir them up. Okay, so while that's cooking, I'm going to just mix up our spices. So that's the fenugreek and peppers, cumin and coriander, and we also want turmeric in it, 1 tablespoon of turmeric. Turmeric is pretty much always bought ground. I know you can get fresh turmeric, but that's not normally for Indian food. So that's our dried spices. A bit high, isn't it? Yep. Onions cooking, tum tum tum. And we want 2 cups of water in a minute. Measure that out. And we're going to want the lentils. I'm going to use red lentils, which are these little guys, you know, the some common ones. And I'm going to use puy lentils. I've got the French ones, but they have been grown in New Zealand also. It's kind of where your loyalties lie. I like the French ones, of course, but they're more expensive. The French lentil farmers are poor, so we like to support them. Onions are cooking up a bit. They're getting there, so I think we can put the garlic in now. And then the spices, dried spices going. And that's when it really starts to smell good. And it gets quite dry, of course. Yes. It smells stunning. Stir it around for a bit, and then we'll put some water in, and then some lentils. Water. Yeah. And then we want a cup of mixed lentils. What I like, my best mixture is a mixture of the red lentils, the puy lentils, and also green or brown lentils. But I couldn't get them. Everybody panic bought all the lentils, not leaving any for me. So I want a cup all together. One cup of lentils. There we go. They take slightly different amounts of time to cook, and they have slightly different characteristics. The red lentils will break up, the puy lentils will stay quite firm. So a mixture is good. And the green and brown lentils are sort of slightly in the middle. They're slightly mush, but not entirely. So a mixture is good. But if you've only got one sort, don't worry, just use them. That's good. And then the kumara. I've only got one slightly small kumara. We'll go with what we got. He's been scrubbed. I like red kumara, but I find the yellow and the orange very sweet. But you can use what you want. That goes in now also. Ideally I'd have a little more kumara, but that'll be good. You'll see. I like aubergine in it also, so I'm going to put a whole aubergine in it. A whole aubergine is probably slightly too much, but there's no point keeping a quarter of an aubergine. So I shall put it all in. It's bubbling up. The aubergine, thing about the aubergine in curry is it absorbs the other flavours really well, flavours of the curry. But the aubergine is entirely optional. And of course it goes that lovely turmeric-y colour. That's going to be a bit dry, it's going to need more water. Where's my jug? I'll put another cup of water in it now, and it might need even more later. Yeah, so far so good. And then the next thing is going to be fresh chilli. You can use chilli from a jar, but chilli from a jar is perfectly fine. But I have a fresh chilli. Always use a glove. because it's not so much your hand, but it can work out under the crevices of your fingernails, and that hurts. And if you do get it, if you on your hands and then you like touch your eyes, oh my goodness, you'll know all about it. And you can take out the seeds, but I like it to taste, so I'm leaving the seeds in. And this is that was quite a large chili, and large chilies don't have so much heat, so it won't be too hot. One chili. If they were the really small chilies, I'd be a bit more careful, but the big chili is going to be good. Just nice. And what else do we want? We want ginger and salt. Microplane grater for the ginger, and this is fresh ginger. If you want to peel ginger, as you will know if you've been to my classes, don't use a knife because you take off half the ginger. Use a spoon, the tip of a spoon, and it should peel like a new potato. It's a miracle in the peelings, yeah. But you don't have to peel ginger. It's entirely, you know, I'm not going to. I think I say 2 centimetres of ginger, but I like ginger, so I might put a bit extra in. My microplane isn't the sharpest, I need a new one, but I can't go shopping. I have to push quite hard. See, the skin mostly just comes off anyway. Yeah, I'd say that was a good 2 centimetres actually. Most of the ginger's on the back of the grater. Yep. Stir that in. It's starting to look like curry to me. It's on a bit high though. Turn them down. The lentils have started cooking. I never trust any pulses entirely, so I always start them cooking before I put salt in. It's not so much for lentils like this, it's more for haricot beans, chickpeas and red kidney beans. Oh dear, they can go hard and then they won't cook nicely if you put salt in at the beginning. So we normally start them cooking and then put salt in. But they'd started cooking. And that is the hard work over. Ha! After that, then it needs a bit more cooking. Another 10 to 15, keep an eye on it. And then you add vegetables as you see fit. You can put more vegetables in. You can put, in our house we like particularly cauliflower in it. Oh my goodness. Stephen likes courgette, but I don't. And a bit of broccoli is good. And then we normally serve it with rice and fresh coriander on top, as you do, but I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, as I say, that's the hard work done. Okay, the curry's done. I've got some rice to go with it. Here we go. A plain boiled basmati rice, and I've finished cooking it with some broccoli and some cauliflower. Yeah, Stephen didn't get his courgette in with it. I got what I wanted. And I've got a little bit of coriander to go on top. Fresh coriander always makes it taste livelier. And I've got some yogurt and some tomato cassundi to go with it. There we go. That's the lentil and kumara curry. Thanks for watching. See you soon.